to the Rise Against Cancer Madden tournament. Myself, I've been partnered with ACS, American Cancer Society, through the NFL for a while. So as a player, as an NFL player, as a Madden player, it's pretty cool that this partnership is happening. And I'm excited to be a part of it as a native of Atlanta. And it's really cool to see what's going on in Atlanta, on the Beltline with Atlanta and with everything that Allie and company have created. So just excited to be a part of it. Thank you guys for attending. And I guess I'll hand it over to the woman in charge, Ms. Allie. So if you come up here. Thank you, guys.
Wow. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I feel like a celebrity. Of course, thank you so much, Brandon. And thank you for everybody who's here today. A lot of what we're doing with the American Cancer Society is due in part to really dedicate Access Replay to one of our founders who passed away from cancer. Jeff Dumont was one of the best people I knew, and I met him playing video games, right? So way before it was cool to meet people online. So I'm just putting that out there for you. Our friendship was forged of fun, teamwork, and a lot of slaying dragons. And so for most of you who know me, you're okay with me geeking out like this. For those of you who don't, that's okay. You'll be okay with me geeking out like this, right? Through the 18 years that I knew him, we went from talking on a daily basis to meeting up in Vegas and partying together, to growing up and taking our kids to Disney World together. So the year he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, we had just returned from a family trip from Disney, and I was telling him about a steak restaurant that we just absolutely had to go to on his next trip here. He said that that would be great, but unfortunately, he had pancreatic cancer and only had 4 to 6 weeks to live, so he probably wouldn't be making it to that trip. He was also one of those guys that a couple of days later, he literally told me that I got a text from him that said, "Oh, by the way, I just want you to know that I pulled the cancer card the other night during a card game and won," right? So I just want to share that story with you guys to share how important this is, the partnership that we've created with the American Cancer Society. In 2019, I would like to announce that they are our partner of choice as a nonprofit because we want to make a difference. And as a gamer, we're going to make a difference in what we do. I'd like to introduce his family from Canada, who we brought here, as well as his best friends, who are also gamers and friends of ours as well. So Katie and Hazel, please come on up.
Do you want to set off to the side so you can see everybody? Yeah. Okay. You good? Okay. Sorry, forgive me. The hotel room didn't have a pen, so my speech is written in Hazel's sparkle crayons. So my name is Katie, and I'm honored to be here with you tonight. Sorry. This marks my 5th visit to the fabulous city of Atlanta. My first trip here was almost 15 years ago with my late husband, Jeff, and during our first year of dating. Jeff, while being beyond amazing, had one small quirk. He was a gamer, and I'm not just talking about like Xbox sports. It was hardcore, online World of Warcraft. He was even in this thing called a guild. Normally I would have run at this point, but like I said, he was incredible, so I stuck around. However, when he told me that he was going to a convention in Atlanta to meet this said guild, things got serious. Worried he was being lured into the trap of a serial killer, I decided to go with him. His life may have been on the line. Turns out I was wrong. It was an amazing trip, and it was filled with amazing people. I almost got the whole game thing. and it was easy to see why Jeff did. In life, Jeff was genuine, laid back, pretty shy, and unbelievably even-tempered. He almost never angered, and the only time he got visibly, demonstrably excited was either watching the Calgary Flames play hockey or when something spawned in WoW, or eventually later when Hazel did pretty much anything. He hated being the center of attention, and while he was the master of wisecracks and comebacks, they were sparing. There were times, however, when the guard came down and Jeff revealed all of the amazing things he possessed. At home with Hazel and I, with his buddies out after a few rye coke, or in the game. Following the first guild meeting, we made several more trips together. I loved them all, as well as the new community I had become a part of, even though I was not a gamer. Eventually, Jeff and I married and started our family. He became a fiercely committed family man who loved his girls with everything he had. During this time, he stepped away from the game, but the friendships he made remained. Shortly before Hazel's second birthday, we made a trip back to Atlanta to visit the Young family, and then headed with them to Orlando. It was an incredible trip. However, 2 days before leaving, Jeff had been having stomach pain, and the doctor ordered an ultrasound for our return. The day after our return, we learned that Jeff had cancer in his pancreas. Sorry. They initially prepared us that he may only have a few months. Several weeks later, in a biopsy, we learned that Jeff had neuroendocrine pancreatic cancer with a mean survival of anywhere from 1 to 5 years. He fought for a champion for 16 months. We all fought. We tried every treatment we could find to save him and took every chance to make the most out of life. This included a Disney cruise with close friends and yet another trip to Atlanta. It was on that last trip 4 years ago that we sat in Josh and Ellie's living room, and she told us about her vision for Access Replay. She asked Jeff to be a part, as he was probably the most hardworking and brilliant IT professional you could find. Jeff loved his job, but he loved his girls even more. And as soon as he was diagnosed, he went on leave. Made possible by an amazing disability plan, critical illness insurance, and a really generous fundraiser by his coworkers. Jeff was put on cutting-edge oral chemotherapy, which meant not spending full days at the hospital every few weeks, and much fewer side effects than if he'd been on an IV chemo. So while he obviously didn't feel great, he wasn't debilitated. Jeff was raised to work hard and to earn everything that was given to him, as we all should be. However, while he was grateful to be able to invest the time at home where he was most important, he missed work and often felt he should be earning his keep. So when Allie enlisted his help, a fire sparked in him that had been missing for a while. And while he didn't have time to contribute much, Access Replay will always hold at least a bit of his spirit. Hazel and I are big believers that while he doesn't live physically, Jeff continues to live on in many other ways, as long as we take the necessary steps. And today is a big illustration of that. For this opportunity, I thank you all. Every one of you has your own story and your own reason to rise against cancer, and I'm grateful to share mine. Every dollar we raise tonight makes a difference, if not for finding a cure, then increasing survival odds, or improving quality of life for patients and their families. And now Hazel actually came up with a few words she wants to say herself. Do you want me to pick you up? Ready? Right, Daddy?
Mom, I can't remember.
He was a special guy.
Mom, I just can't remember.
Do you want me to read it for you?
It's whispered in my ear.
Okay. Okay. No? Do you want me to read it for you? Yeah. Okay, so Hazel wrote this last night. This was her words. He was a special guy to me. Thank you for being here. It feels good to have you guys here at the fundraiser. I love my daddy. Let's rise against cancer. Thank you.
Hi, so kind of wish I didn't have to follow that. So I'm just going to read what I wrote here. I'm going to keep it nice and short. Hello, everyone. My name is David. I'm a longtime friend of Jeff's. We met in kindergarten, so we were like 5, and we maintained a tight friendship throughout his entire life. This included about 10 years where we actually lived together. I bought a place when I was 21, and him and my good friend Chad, we all lived together, and I guess we kind of had one of those initial gaming houses back in the day. So we made the trip from Canada tonight. Ali asked us to come out and just kind of support what's going on. I think cancer's touched all of our lives. My dad, we've got all friends, family, but tonight was about Jeff, because he had a big part of what was going on tonight here. So, like I said, so why are we here? Well, honestly, we're here because of Jeff. As I said, we lived together for some time, and in that time, we all had computers in our room. In 1999, I went down to his bedroom to see what he was up to, and he was playing a new game called EverQuest. The concept of an online game that you paid a monthly fee to play in a mutual world with thousands of players globally was new and very outside the box at the time. But after a few weeks of watching him explore this online world and a lot of encouragement from Jeff, I decided to take the plunge and pay that $12.99 a month to see what it was all about. Eventually, the seemingly innocent event led to a decade of our lives being devoted to online gaming. We would literally wake up in the morning, go to work, come home, and as we were changing out of our work clothes and cooking up our craft dinner, we would be booting up our computers and loading up EverQuest to jump online, where we eventually met Ali and Josh, whose vision brought us this incredible venue, Access Replay, 20 years later. So that's pretty wild. I don't need to speak much to Jeff's character. I think Katie did a pretty good job of that. I could regale you with stories, humorous anecdotes of Jeff and his life and his sense of humor. And if you want afterwards, after I've had a few more beer, I'd be pleased to talk about it all night if you'd like. Just know that he was the best of us. That should kind of go without saying as we look around the room and find people from all over North America here tonight to honor him in partnership with the American Cancer Society. He brought people together. He introduced us to Ali and Josh through EverQuest, building a friendship that spans almost 2 decades now. And although it's been years since we've seen each other, he brought us together again tonight. The love we all have for this man built bonds that can't be broken through time or distance. This is fitting, as this is exactly what Access Replay tries to accomplish, bringing people together through gaming. And if they can use these relationships to build awareness for the ACS, then Jeff will touch many more lives that don't even know it. Thank you, Jeff. We love you, and thank you, everybody, for coming out, and any donations would be very appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, something in my eye there, There's something very unique about sports and entertainment. It creates a lot of emotion. Would you agree? Would you agree? So that emotion, there's a word that we use at RIISE Ventures called emotional currency. And sports and entertainment really brings that out of us, and good times and bad times, and wins and losses. So when you think about esports, gaming, or a better way to understand it, competitive entertainment, it's a lot of emotions. During the Madden tournament earlier, there was like a lot of emotions, not just from the players, but the spectators. It was something. It was something. So when you think about relationships and partnerships, we at RIISE Ventures and with our partnership and investment in Access Replay are always trying to think about who are the best partners for us to target. Who should we engage? Who can we fully maximize that emotional currency with? So American Cancer Society came top of mind. But now, it can't be one-sided. The relationship, the need to foster this emotional currency has to be something that both sides are interested in, genuinely, authentically. So when we engage with American Cancer Society, they were active participants in our eSports Week program, which we held in Q4 in November. And they said, you know what, we really want to be intentional in developing an eSports strategy. So what better place than Access Replay to start? What better place than Access Replay where you can live, work, and play all things esports? So that's why we thought it made sense for Access Replay and American Cancer Society to create a partnership. So that's all we did. You know, we looked at the obvious and we decided that why don't we explore this partnership. And that's why we're here today. So without further ado, I would like to bring up representatives led by J.W. Cannon, Senior Director of Sports Alliances for American Cancer Society. Can we give J.W. a round of applause, please?
So I have my notes up here. I'm terrible at speaking off the cuff. I might actually throw out a couple of dirty words, so pardon me for putting on my glasses. So, well, we're really excited to be here. This is a first for us. You know, our first dipping the toe into the esports and the e-gaming world. And, you know, I'd like to really thank the folks, M. Cole, Allie, the extended family of Access Replay and RIISE Ventures for having us here. You know, we couldn't continue to do the groundbreaking work that we do in the cancer space without the help of generous donors and supporters and corporate partners such as you guys. So we really appreciate your support. Let me give you just my 30-second or, well, 90-second or so elevator speech about the American Cancer Society. So at the American Cancer Society, we're on a mission to free the world from cancer. You know, while most people know us for our research, we actually do a lot more than just that groundbreaking research that you've seen. You know, we're a 100-plus-year-old organization, and we truly attack cancer from every angle. We promote healthy lifestyles. We try to take care to issue prevention and awareness guidelines of the different types of cancers. We issue a lot of the guidance on the screening guidelines that you hear from your doctors on a regular basis about cancer. We do the groundbreaking research to find better ways to treat, but also try to find the cause of cancer so that we can continue to find those better ways to treat. We fight for life-saving policy changes at all levels of government, everything from the local level all the way up to the federal government, and fighting for funding